First, there was Dueling Citizens, now Secrets from the Inside. Author Greg Meakin nails it again. Introducing Secrets from the Inside Radio Show. Raw, unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled. Secrets from the Inside starts now. With your hosts, Greg Meakin, Val Olson, and Captain James McCormick.
So great. That's so great. By the way, this is fun because this is always the pre-hard start sneak preview, secret preview. So you and I will get our sound, our mics working and stuff, and we'll have nice little banter on the side. And sometimes the preview is as good or better than the show, right? We know that, Val. Thank you. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, again, not just on air right here. Thank you so much for those birthday wishes. As far as just kind of sending wishes over, easy, of course, message your X platform there, Val. I'm on Facebook, of course. I let everybody in the world know it was my birthday today, right? And that's kind of an inside scoop. It's because I went years and years and years without kind of hiding my birthday. I was working so hard and didn't want any attention in life that I'd wake up in the morning and say to my wife, don't say a word, don't say a thing about my birthday, and then blah, blah. So now that I get older, I really do. To get sentimental right off the out the gate, as you say, to get sentimental. The wishes started coming in yesterday from Australia, believe it or not, because Australia is a day ahead. I love it. I have family and listeners, readers in Australia, and it was just honestly, seriously, just send over to Val or to me whatever wishes. I think we've had some not to sound too humble here. I think we've had a few pouring in, Val, since yesterday. So I'll actually just kind of turn it back to you. I'm really looking forward to kind of just sitting back today. We have a few folks dropping in. Definitely the Captain McCormick's going to be parachuting in sometime when he's not out there, saving the planet or doing meetings with real high level people. Our favorite Purple Heart in the world, Captain James McCormick. He'll be parachuting in, Val. And possibly one or two others, but I doubt it. Everybody's so busy. So I just look forward to, once again, whenever we have our hard start here in about 6 minutes, I look forward to just once again, sitting around Val's kitchen table. And folks can drop in. Just the old eyeball to eyeball, face to face conversation, where that is so missing in this day and age, so missing, just to be able to chat even on disagreeing ideas and find common ground, just like we would around the campfire at our grandmother's house on Christmas or whatever. You sit, find common ground, and move forward with a common mission and a continued mission. So I'm here, present and accounted for. Your sound sounds great, Val. I'm really looking forward to just having fun and facilitating this today. Miss Deb said to me, because she's laughing at me making a scene over my birthday, right? Because I never did. She says, make sure that you tell everybody that it's your birthday today, because she knows I'm so that was Miss Deb's message of the day. So I'll turn it back to you a little bit, Val. I mean, honestly, take your time. We've got about 5 minutes before our hard start. Do you notice I'm talking more Canadian every day? Like our hard start, just kind of like a Canadian.
I didn't notice, but I don't notice those things.
I gotta sit back, just kind of monologue along, whatever you want to do. 4 minutes from now, just go ahead, cold start intro. I'll be announcing some things as we go on, because we've got, the media train that we have jumped on here, speeding faster than a speeding bullet. So much stuff's going on our end, on the captain's end. So we'll be talking a little bit about that during the show. But as they say, I'm going to turn the mic right back to you, Val, for kind of your entry, and go ahead and start the show.
Secrets from the Inside, unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled, undoxed. and we just want to welcome you to the show today. It's the newest and hottest radio show on the internet. I am Val Olson, that's spelled Olson, like on. I am Greg Meakin's facilitator this morning on the birthday edition. And for now, there are only two places you can hear secrets from the inside. One is this X platform at Home Media Mom. The second is Greg Meakin's amazing YouTube channel at Greg Meakin. And we're going to start the show with a secret. The first secret is Secrets from the Inside is one of a kind. The producer, the host, the guest, and the birthday boy himself. All one person. Greg Meakin. Happy birthday, Greg.
Boy, that was a nice intro. I love it when you coo over me, Val. That's great.
I live over people.
It's
Yes.
so funny. I'm still half Canadian, so I'm already getting a little embarrassed having all the attention, right? Probably not, but right. So,
Right.
no, thank you again for that. I'm so looking forward to the show. Not only kind of just the relaxed thing, seriously, it's the first show of the year. It's the first show of 2024. 2024 is going to be big time. I'm just calling it the God Family Freedom Year. Okay, God Family Freedom Year, North and South. I
like
won't. I've been promising everybody I won't talk serious stuff or politics or stuff today. There's so much of it out there, and there's so much content that's just, as Tony Chapman would say up in Toronto, that's just content like a fire hose of content coming out at us all day long, whether it's news stories or videos or whatever. So I'm very short personally
or the
on it.
government. Yeah, just like straight up.
Yeah. And I'm kind of personally short on bandwidth or whatever, but there's so much stuff coming up. Again, 2024 is going to be big time. James, Captain McCormick, and I will be chatting quite a bit about that. I'm really want to take a minute and talk Roughneck Regiment 2024. Okay, so he loved that. Anyhow, we'll be talking about that. Thank you, Val Olson, Val Olson Radio on X. This is Secrets from the Inside with Greg Meakin. Today's birthday edition, not just birthday, 65th birthday, officially a senior citizen. So there you go. We're coming up to the top of the hour. Hard start here, Val. So you go ahead and rock it out.
All right, it is the birthday edition, and we're not going to talk about politics. I just want to update you on a few things. Canada side, I have not pushed any files off my desk. I am not discouraged. I am working. I am adding notes to my files every single day. And I just want to let all of the Canadian military know that I'm with you guys. One of the most important files on my desk right now is still trying to find Major Suman Kim. If you're listening and you know him, or you've heard about him, or where he is, or how to reach him, maybe you're a friend of his, or you live down a street, or a neighbor, anything like that, I am not giving up, okay? And I'm not discouraged. It's not that hard. Everyone in Canada knows each other, okay? So I don't have a lot to update this morning on that file, but I wanted to let you know, even though it's birthday party day, we'll go into who's not invited to the party maybe and who is invited to the party, but I'm still working on the back end. I just want you guys to know that. I will have an update for you. Okay. Other files I'm working on, maybe I won't get into those. I don't want to take away from the fun of party day, but I do think it's really important not to leave Canadians behind and not to let them think because it's party day that I'm just checking out, Greg, because I'm not checking out.
No. Hey, we always joke, Val, you'll always, for the rest of your life, you'll always be going rogue, like Sarah Palin in the past. That's called independent. You'll never not. be an independent person, passionate, sharing just sharing what's on your heart, and that's what you just did. You're passionate about the stuff going on. You're passionate about the stories. Do you have something to write on today, Val? Did you bring in your Post-it notes or your little legal pad? Just
Yes, I have. It's checkerboard. It's not official legal pad, but it's a thick pad.
you have a
Yes,
you have a fresh
and I've got a
sheet though and a
pen.
pen. Okay, so I just want to let you know, as you know, for
Got
kind of
it.
first secret of the day, and we got a bunch, but first secret of the day is, whether people know it or not, I'm kind of an assignment editor. I'm really more of an assignment letter and editor, and kind of a media analyst. A lot of people don't know that, and so I look at everything in the world in terms of like a story. You know, is there a story here? What's a story? So I'm going to give you, and these are just as a quote, independent journalist down in Arizona. I'm working on. I have 3 files open myself that hopefully, as 2024 evolves, they are going to be immersed, as they say. We'll be able to immerse ourselves in them. But the first one's called "Horsing Around." Okay, you got that? Okay. The
Okay.
second one is called Lakeview, Arizona. Okay. The
Okay.
third one is called, you'll like this, Where's Waldo? Okay, that is
Oh, I
actually, you actually
love
touched on,
that.
that's on the mysterious Major Kim story. So that's Where's Waldo? And then number 4 story, and these are just, again, I just have headers and files started on them, is the last one here, number 4, is the secret file story. So it's like number 4. There's always something we'll always keep confidential. So those are kind of the 4 that I'm going to be working on, amongst other things. But as you say, let everybody know, even though it's only January 3rd, which is Greg's birthday, even though it's early in the year, stuff's now just starting to be worked for 2024. I don't know anyone, Val, honestly. I don't know anyone who's not kind of refreshed to get into a new year. I mean, not only 2023, I mean, God, there were nightmares going on in the world, in the United States, in 2023. And then we go back to late 2019 and 2020. 2020 was when our countries were shut down. And my beautiful wife, Deborah, always says, tell people, don't forget 2020, everybody. Don't forget 2020, because that's really when, honestly, a lot of life in North America and really around the world just started spinning out of control. I'll leave it at that. But don't forget 2020. But we're rolling into 2024. It's a brand new day, brand new year. I know for me, and for a lot of people that I know, I feel like I've shed a skin for some reason of just heavy lifting, heavy research, a lot of frustration, a lot of frustration, especially watching how our leaders are going about their business right now. I will not talk politics today, though. I promise myself. But 2024, I do believe it's going to be a year of God, family, freedom, and really starting not only in January, but right now as we speak, starting to really be, I'm saying, riding a wave. I believe it's a wave. I believe it's a wave of 1950s handshake world, getting back to common sense, which I believe 60 to 75% of all of us are getting back to common sense. November, we got an election coming up down here, possible for a fresh start. And just basically saying, hey, whatever the last 4 years were in life, we're going to rock it out this year. And I don't want to hear personally, you know me, Val. I'm not a doomsdayer. I don't need to cluck and complain about stuff day by day. I always ask, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? And what I see around me, all around me right now, and it'll start with Captain James whenever he parachutes in, there is a wave that's been brewing, percolating in the last couple of years, but a wave that's going to, I believe, come over the United States of America, and maybe even Alberta, before the end of 2024. So That's boy, I already started a little monologue there, but I guess being optimistic for 2024. And it starts on January 3rd. Today's January 3rd. January 3rd is the worst birthday to ever have in the world of Val, right? Everybody, this is growing up, everybody was just got over Christmas. They just got over New Year's. And they're just getting back to work or school. Everyone's broke. Everyone's hungover. I got so many birthday presents thrown at me in Kmart bags over the years. So, to all the other January 3rders out there, and there's a bunch. There's a bunch. All great people are Capricorns. I don't know if you knew that, Val, but all great leaders are Capricorns. So, anyhow, back to you, man. I didn't expect me to blabber on my own birthday show, but thank you so much.
Okay.
And kind of back to you. Let's just banter around, have some fun today. Seriously.
I'm taking notes as you had your assignment editor hat on, and I also want to talk about your birthday and who's invited. Maybe we could start with just making 2 columns: who's invited and who's not invited. But I'm wondering, how much space should I leave in the order of the stories to line up? So I have 4, and I just wrote them as fast as I could. But I'm wondering, in my checkered notepad that I write my news stories in, if I should leave 1 page or half a page, or put them all on 1 page. So there's horsing around,
Yes.
Lakeview, Arizona, Where's Waldo, and Secret
Yep.
Files.
Yep.
Do you want to elaborate on any of those?
Not really. It's my birthday. I can. I'm gonna be just a jerk today, Val. It's great.
How about we play around the pin tail on the horse?
No.
Can we start
Actually,
there?
they were really truly a teaser. I won't elaborate more than that today, but I wanted to share that not only these, I say 4. These are, I keep things in organize my mind, file things away, things I'm going to work on, things that are issues. There's other big ones. You know what? The only thing I'll elaborate on, and it's not there, it's not on there, it's another one. But here's one thing I'll elaborate on. But the rest is just wait for the secrets in the future. Open your files. But one coming up, and I'm glad I just kind of thought of this. One coming up is I really want to introduce the world to Matthew Thomas. And everybody out there will be saying, who's Matthew Thomas? Matthew Thomas is the next sheriff of Pinal County, Arizona. We'll know about that in November when he's elected. And he's going to be taking. It's going to be passing the torch. He's going to be taking the torch, taking the baton from Sheriff Mark Lamb, who I've always been saying will be in the Senate. But Matthew Thomas, I for some reason I just wanted to shout out to him today because he's going to be facing as new sheriff. You know how confident I am with things like elections, right? But he's going to be facing a lot of the challenges and more that we're all going to be facing in 2024, 2025, 2026. Remember, this is not just, life is not just 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, but we've got 2025, 26, 27, 28. A total side note to digress. Do you realize there are immigration check-in appointments going out till 2028 right now, Val, without even needing to check in? 2028. Anyhow, total digress there. But Matt Thomas, I finished his book. I'm going to be writing a book review. It's a preview of what you're really going to see for years as far as leadership in Pinal County. Pinal County is the size of Connecticut. In Arizona, very, very high impact, influential county. And of course, we're virtually a border county, being only an hour from the border. So Matt Thomas has written a great book called Interceptors, talking about the inside scoop of fighting the Southern Border War, mainly that's run by the cartels. So again, great book. I don't know if you have I have his website or whatever to plug in the future here, Val, but I don't have off of memory. But Matthew Thomas, Interceptors, great book. And remember his name. Just remember his name. He's going to be a prominent leader in Arizona, and I'm relying on him because I'll be voting for him to be my sheriff. I voted for, funny trivia here, I voted for Mark Lamb twice. I voted already in Pinal County. I voted for Mark Lamb before I knew him, because everything I knew of him said he's my kind of guy. And this Matt Thomas is one of those guys. He's a little shorter than Mark, but I'm sure people have told him that before. Anyhow, so that's my own little shout out today, at least just to kind of begin the show. But on the files, the news files, stuff we're going to be working on. Definitely stuff we're going to be working on, but not only Matt Thomas and the election down here. I'll bet you could open a dozen news files right now, Val, of what you and I will be working on. Probably a dozen, maybe a baker's dozen, but that's for another show, because you know what this show's for, right? This is all about Greg's birthday. All about Greg's birthday. You know what? Do you mind if I chat here a little bit? We don't have any. Is my voice sounding? Is
Nope,
my mic
you-
sounding okay? I've been working since like 3
Oh, yeah.
this morning, so if I get a little hoarse, bear with me. Side note, because I'm kind of once again running the show here. Side note: when you do get into stuff historic, whether it's birthdays or family or whatever, this past holiday, and I know a lot of people have been looking into family and stuff. I've been mercifully cleaning out my garage all this week until about 5 o'clock this morning, and so you bump into like photo albums or whatever. And I ran into one thing today that I just wanted to shout out on, because it just blew me away. And it's just totally a Greg thing, a personal story, but it's a military story. I ran into, as I was going through some photos and files today, I had a cousin in Leicester, England. Leicester's a couple hours out of London, who had, and this was months ago, he had emailed me family documents that he was gathering, kind of, building the ancestry.com thing. And I pulled up it was really cool. I pulled up the enlistment of my grandfather, Sam Meakin. And as you might remember, I've told this story on the air, Val. My grandfather fought for the British Army in the trenches in World War One, and he came back. He survived World War One. He came back, and a couple of years later, he died from the effects of German mustard gas. And as I've said this on the air, talking about war stuff, and they had to drop. My grandmother had to drop the 6 kids at the orphanage in London, England, because there was no money, there was no welfare, and there were no men left in London because of the war. So I pulled up this enlistment document. It was so interesting. His legal name was William Percy Meakin, enlisted January 20th, 1914. January 20th, 1914, coming up on that anniversary. He enlisted with the Royal Berkshire Regiment. Any of our military guys out there, they would have been Royal Berkshire Regiment. They would have been, again, trench guys. I think it was France or Belgium or whatever. And then my cousin Rich sent me another document, which was his discharge paper, beautifully honorable discharge. I have a few medals from him, but discharged May 14th, 1920. So January 20th, 1914 till May 14th, 1920. And I said, that's my grandfather. Kind of cool, old yellowed kind of document and stuff. And so if anything, I enjoyed getting on the air, because that I only tripped over this morning, but I thought it was really cool as a mention. And again, down the road, you never know where these are going to be shared. We have literally access to hundreds of thousands of military guys out there, Val, as you know, direct access. If anyone knows the Royal Berkshire Regiment from World War One, that'd be a reach out from me to hear any stories or knowledge out there. So kind of back to you. Once again, I'm off track. I'm digressing, but I'm having fun. I apologize for the scratchy voice. I really have. I've been working since 3, so bear with me today.
It's your birthday. I think you sound great. And I just want to take a minute and wish you a very, very happy 65th birthday, Greg. And I know everybody's excited. They want to know like who's invited to the party, maybe who's not invited to the party. Who have you heard from? Like maybe just give us a global perspective if you have a minute, if you don't mind, and who you've heard from like out of country.
Wow, you sound like a investigative journalist more and more every day, Val. Those great questions. Those are great. I kind of ignored that, or I think you asked that earlier, didn't you? And then I just went on a Greg blabber, right? Actually, fun question. As I say, it was just so fun. It's interesting. And again, social media changes everything. It just changes everything. Anyone who complains about social media, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. I know there's nonsense garbage out there and trolls and spammers and all that stuff, but it's really allowed me and everyone I know to keep in touch, like with family and friends, and send photos and videos where we didn't bottom line, we didn't have the opportunity to do that in the past. Come on, everybody. We were snail mail, as they say, existence. So I love social media for that reason. As they say, who's invited to the party? They're SRFs. SRFs are invited. That's called, as you well know, Val, stark raving fans. It's people that's people that like you, love you, read your stuff, listen to your stuff, their friends, family, whatever. And honestly, I actually mean that. That's who's invited to my party. Those are folks who are invited to my lectures. Those are folks that are invited to my speaking engagements, which I haven't done in years. But it's people. You asked me, boy, more than a year ago, Val, on the air. You said, "What kind of people do you hang with, Greg? What kind of people do you hang with? Who's invited to the party?" And I said, "The nice people." The nice people, because there are a lot of people out there in the world that's not nice. Or honestly, God, here I go digressing again. There are a lot of people out there that aren't nice. We know it. That really want to undermine or squabble from within, or I still will never understand it. I'll never understand it. Of one human being wanting to take down another human being. I'll never understand that. But the nice folks, the people I surround myself with, it started in Australia, of course, because that was a day ahead, January 3rd. Have friends and family, friends and readers down there. And then the first one, right out the gate, as they say in Alberta, was actually from Ottawa. How's that? From the whole world. It came from Ottawa. It was actually a real nice email sent to me by, I call him my Ottawa insider. And very, very nice email. So at Montreal and then Toronto. And I heard, of course, it was so fun. Oh, here's a little digress. I had a phone call this morning. I had a nice phone chat. Speaking of who's invited to the party, I had a nice phone chat today, because she and her husband, in the past, with her husband, I used to have kind of a fun birthday, a phone call routine. And for folks out there that will not know this name, but many Canadians will know her husband, I had a nice chat today with Madame Elise Bellevaux. Elise Bellevaux, who is the wonderful widow of Jean Bellevaux. Anyone obviously who's been ever heard of hockey, especially Canadian hockey, especially Montreal hockey, know who Jean Beliveau is. But Monsieur Beliveau was a friend of mine. I had met him over 20 years ago when I built my ice arena in Seattle. So it was kind of fun. I think you knew this. I was on the front page of the Montreal Gazette with Jean Beliveau 20 years ago, Val. I think you knew that. But praise God, I've been able to stay in touch with Elise. She has a birthday coming up in February, and she will be turning 92 years old. 92 years old. I keep in touch, honestly, and it's not sentimental. It's not a celebrity thing or anything. I keep in touch with my older folks and family and friends. My older folks, because you never know how long you're going to have them. You just never know. I don't have any family left, Val, seriously, other than, some kind of distant or second cousins and stuff. But Anyhow, I chatted with her, and as usual, we'll usually chat and catch up for maybe a half hour. But I did say to her, of course, it's my birthday today, right? So, because we always talk birthdays anyhow. But I had said to her, Madame Belleville, none of my listeners, or very few, none of my listeners and of course readers speak French. So, what would you say to me in French if you were wishing me happy birthday? It's kind of fun. And she said it. She said, she said, Avez un joyeux anniversaire. Avez un joyeux anniversaire, which means have a happy birthday. And so I said, I'll repeat that on the air in French just because I won't have a lot of people who have known that. But anyhow, Madame Bellevaux and all of my old NHL contacts and stuff, they're wonderful people. And sadly, everyone's getting older. But so I heard from Ottawa, I heard from Montreal, and I always hear from, let's just say Calgary. I don't know why, but anyhow, it's just been really, really nice. But long story short, who's invited to the party are the nice people. Who's not are the knots. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question or not, but I'm sure having fun today. I'm digressing left and right, which I really, really am having fun doing. Seriously.
And you're working hard at the same time, wearing your assignment editor cap, and I was taking notes. I'm not fooling around here. It's serious business, even though we are celebrating your birthday today. I expect some friends of yours to drop by because it's party day, episode 0011, the birthday edition. So I just want to invite your friends, parties on. And I will invite you to speak, which I have. You just need to unmute yourself, and two things. You have to accept the invitation. It's like a mission. Do you accept the mission to come to Greg's birthday party?
That's great.
So that's all I need you to do is just accept your invitation.
Anyhow, it will be fun if we do have some drop-ins today. How fun. If there's any sound issues on your end, as far as, again, we'll be having a few guests or so today. So indeed, I would love speakers where they want to speak, but either way, they don't have to either. Remember that, Val.
Yeah,
How
no
fun.
pressure.
When I talked with Captain James was going to be parachuting in today. I think he's still scheduled in. So he might be running late, blah, blah, on that. But I had, oh, by the way, side note, I had, you remember our dear friend IT Wendy Tepley. Wendy
Yes.
was going to parachute in today. She was going to coo over me, Greg Meakin, and she was going to, because she's got a birthday coming up, not till September. She's got her 65th in September, so she calls me old man now, old man, because I'm 6 months older. So either way, we had to, but Wendy could not make it today. She's been tied up. Everybody we know, Val, everybody we know is busy, busy, busy. Just with, and also of course getting the year started, So back to you on that.
Joining us. Oh, sorry, mic issue there. It's episode 0011 of Secrets from the Inside. We're thrilled that you are along today, joining the live birthday party, number 65 for Greg Meakin. What a special day. Secrets from the Inside. There are episodes in the can, as we say in the radio biz. So if you want to listen on demand, the best place to go is YouTube and search at Greg Meakin, and you will see our episodes are there, or just, follow my page here, Val Olson at Home Media Mom. This is episode 0011, so you've got 10 to work through. And, the best time to listen, that's a tough one. We have friends who listen over their lunch hours, the hard-working there's heroes in chairs too that work in the back offices. I say listen over the lunch hour. That's a great time. You'll have some laughs. You will learn some stuff too. We don't waste any time here. And if you're a media person, like maybe, you and I work together in the mainstream, maybe we bump shoulders or we exchange stories back and forth, because I have a lot of friends from my time in the mainstream world. I promise you, you are going to find big stories. If you missed Greg this morning as an assignment editor, he has 4 categories for me to work on. Go back to the beginning of the episode and get caught up on news. We're not talking about politics, but we were touching on, just to recap for you this morning, I'm still looking for Major Suman Kim. I will continue to do that. But I need some help. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to ask for help when I need it. Okay. I've learned that. You wake up in kindergarten every day, and this is a major one, Greg.
It's funny, Val.
I know a lot of
Seriously,
people.
no, it's funny. You bring it up, and it honestly, like I said on air last week, and I'm talking to James McCormick about this. It's just one of those stories. It shouldn't even be a story, because these politically correct stories, whatever, it was about the tampons in the biological male washrooms, possibly throughout the armed forces and stuff. And it wasn't technically a story until we found out that the gentleman who released the story we don't know who he is. And we've been looking. So I really don't want to get into it too deep, because that really is an episode for another day. But even down here in the States, the military guys are surprised they don't know who he is. So anyhow, I call that, by the way, I call that Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? That file.
We do know who he is. We're talking about the public spokesperson for the National Defense of Canada. So, I've never served in the military, but I would like to think that on day one, you probably get your pictures taken and they ID you and they give you how you get an email if you work like at a certain secrets for the inside. Like you can reach me at Val at Secrets from the Inside, right? So if you're the spokesperson, you probably get one of those embroidered special jackets that say top dog or spokesperson, it's a big important title. So, this is a very, very public. It's like when you have your face on the TV, or how missing children. Do you remember when they used to put their faces on milk cartons? Stuff like that. We want to draw attention to this. So we do have a little bit to go on. I just say leave no rock unturned. The distance is short from Alberta to Arizona, and just want to give a shout out to my mainstream friends, my friends who still swim in the deep end. They're highly connected, but I was able to work and even train some of them who went much, 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 much deeper in the deep end than I ever did. But it's time to put what's that term? I'm not a police person either, but what's the special, when you're looking for someone and they put that special code out? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is it not a BOLO, be on the lookout, or APB, all points bulletin? I like the milk carton better. I like that. How about a milk cartons up there? Where's your what is it, Minister of Defense of Canada? What's his title, Val? I mean, seriously, it's just it's got my
I've already contacted the minister's office. Okay, I have a list started over my work desk of who I've contacted, and they've been so seriously. Sure. Shout out to those guys who answer the phone. They have been so helpful. But yeah, I've already been referred to the minister's office, and I've already talk to the receptionist, Greg.
I wonder if he's on LinkedIn or something. I can't believe, and it's just honestly, it's serious stuff, really. Who puts out a press release without having the name and contact number. I mean, seriously. But
But it's important we say this. He's the spokesperson of the Canadian military and the Canadian National Defense. That's just going off of what's in print.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we know that, but we don't know his hair color, his eyebrow color, if he has facial hair or not. And you know, he's the one though who's cheerleading and publicly gave the green light and on putting Tampax machines in all Canadian military armed forces biological male restrooms.
Boy,
Okay, this is the
referring
guy.
to episode, I think off of memory is like episode 008.
008.
That was an amazing show. And again, down here in the States, we have our issues down here, but this is almost, I mean, it's almost a humorous story, but it's not. It's enough to be, to hang around and keep our interest. It really is. But you say it just sounds funny continuing to bring it up, but it's true. Is he on LinkedIn? Is there maybe a high school picture of him? You know, we have their databases everywhere. I got my high school pictures online, Val. You know, come on. So it's just almost a novelty story enough, honestly, to keep the attention of the United States. Because I'm just interested in the answer here, and I know Cap McCormick is and stuff. Because either way, we report to our people, right? James has hundreds of thousands of people he reports to, just to let him know where's Waldo. Where's Waldo? So, do you mind if I take a quick minute? I know we're about a half hour in to our show. I always make a goal of 59 minutes. And we've only succeeded that once or twice. Val, we've had shows over 2 hours. We've had a couple of them over 3 hours, but just due to this kind of being the beginning of the year and quick and fun, I hope to be able to keep it to 59 minutes. But I'm going to take a few quick minutes if I can. I'm just going to kind of bring up kind of the stuff that's going on both on your side, my side. I'm going to talk about Captain McCormick a little bit, just in case he can't drop in. Do a few plugs, at least where to find our work and stuff. So I'm just going to take a few quick minutes, if that's okay. Let's start with James McCormick. Captain McCormick, of course, he is the host of Continue Mission Radio show every Friday night. That's on Brain Injury Radio, Inside Scoop. You platformed. It was a rapid deployment platform on X of the last Friday's Continue Mission show, which was December 29th. And so you and I basically hosted that with James. It was wonderful. And the news here is there's a beautiful full episode of Continue Mission, and as well as clips, a number of clips on this one. There were great clips, Val, that are coming out on my YouTube channel. The clips will be out today. The full show will be out probably by tomorrow. And of course, that's my YouTube channel, which is at Greg Meakin. Big stuff going on James's end. Whether he pops in or we do it next show, I'm going to have him talk about the Roughneck Regiment 2024. This is huge. This is a group of basically military veterans who are banding together, really to teach constitutionalism, the American way, etc., but really banding together throughout the 50 states. Very, very nice, long story here, but Roughneck Regiment 2024, remember that. James, of course, is working with all his other networks. He's got amazing networks. He's, of course, a 3-time Purple Heart. Vets for Vet Leadership is his organization. And again, most of those guys, and we're talking the oil guys, Oil and Gas Workers of America, we're talking about the coal guys, a lot of the vets, they're literally pooling into really one group affiliation, which is going to be called the Roughneck Regiment. Very big news there. We kind of broke that, as well as Continue Mission, Val. So that's on James's end. On our end, on my end, this of course is episode of Secrets from the Inside, which is a weekly radio show. It's a radio show format. Long form, conversational, no advertisers, no sponsors at this point, by my choice. And every Wednesday, hard start, 9 a.m. Pacific and noon Eastern. It's platformed for now and forever, really, on Val Olson's X platform, which is at Home Media Mom. And I say now and forever, I'm going to be replatforming very soon, likely in January, to one of the major players in terms of the quote podcast, maybe terrestrial stations and stuff. So it's going to be a real fun time. But no matter what, fun thing about it, this is episode 0011, and it has been exclusively platformed on Val Olson Radio up to this point. And I'm glad that we're able to do it, because just like this show's example, it is indeed uncensored, uncanceled. It can be any length of show that we want. So in other words, we get all of the issues on the table, all of the truth, all of the honesty, not really being hindered or limited with time. Or honestly, with a lot of commercials and stuff. Everyone I know is getting really sick and tired of commercials, Val, even, in the YouTube world and stuff. So that's kind of on my end. YouTube channel, Greg Meakin, at Greg Meakin. And I'll actually turn back to you here, Val. Give a rundown literally of what you've been doing, your X platform and stuff, and just kind of review there, including plugging, your website and stuff. Take a few minutes.
Okay, I can do that. Just think about if you want to play a birthday party game, because I didn't come to this party empty-handed. So I'll just leave that with you for a minute if you decide. The game is called Pin the Tail on the Dead Horse, but we're not going to play it unless it's something you want to play, because it is your party and all. So I'll leave that with you and just give you a rundown of what I'm working on. Thrilled to be the facilitator of Secrets from the Inside. Hard to believe we are already at episode 0011. Wow, time flies. And if you want to go and listen on demand, you can do that on X. All the episodes are here on my platform, at Home Media Mom. I used to swim in the big stream at the deep end, but I like it at home because I can go as deep as I want, or I don't, I can just put my feet in the water, whatever. It's all about the home zone. I am so passionate about homemade, high quality, and broadcasting to you from my home in the United States of America today. I love homemade because you know what the ingredients are. You know what you're getting. And I love to welcome each and every one of you to my dining room table. There's some household rules. You don't have to agree with everything I say. That's not all the time who I want around my dinner table. But we can solve stuff at the table by talking. And I love to cook for my friends and even my enemies, because sitting down and breaking bread together is very, very important, okay? We talk about global stuff around the table. We talk about local stuff. We talk about stranger danger. Occasionally, I will share recipes because, hello, if something's working in your kitchen, it might work in mine too. So we can learn from each other, but it's all about quality, being authentic, being honest, and asking for help when you need help. It takes a village. Whether you're the big stream or the little stream or the home stream, whatever, we all work together and can help each other. So, home stuff is super, super important to me. Making sure that your marriage is in a good place if you're married, or relationship wise, or yourself, right? Like looking internally and fixing the stuff you want to fix. And when you do that, when you take that personal responsibility and personal accountability and you just work away at it, like just, chisel away at the stuff, you will be in a better place. Physically, mentally, spiritually, all that stuff. So that's just kind of my goal in the home zone. I don't think you can go outside of those four walls and really, at the end of the race, like really enjoy the race and really win, like win internally and externally, if you don't have it together at home. Okay, because at home is where the most important stuff happen. If you listen to 0010, I did talk about, these spy balloons that are popping up everywhere. Yeah, well, why do you think they're trying to look inside the home zone in your home windows, or these weird devices that are like spying from the inside of your homes? Like, what's with that? Well, I'll tell you what's with that. If they can get a look at the real moral condition of what's going on inside the family home unit, that's a pretty clear, what's the word? Pretty clear, concise way to see how strong your nation is. Yeah, serious stuff. So we want to make sure the insides of our home zone are clear and working tip top. We're prepared and we're ready for whatever the day ahead, whatever we face in the day ahead. We're ready for it. Everything starts, it's kind of cliche, but start with a good breakfast in the morning, say nice things, care about each other, clean up the mess. But those are important things. Make your bed.
Value, it's amazing. The ongoing theme, imagine this, the home front, at home media
Yeah.
mom. And honestly, when we have all of these episodes and stuff pulled together, there's so much, there's just such a huge volume of media out there with you, me, and again, with the Sheriff Mark Lambs of the world and the Captain James McCormick and stuff. And it all still comes down to God, family, freedom, and the home front. It's the Jordan Peterson clean your own room. I'll tell you what, a little bit of a side note here. I really hope and think on the home front issue here that the wave of education reform is going to come over the country. And I ran into someone yesterday. I didn't think I was going to tell this story, but I ran into someone yesterday who was a lifetime school teacher down here in Arizona. Like 20 years, 22 years. And she was on the verge of being a school principal. And I chatted with her for a while. And I'm just going to tell you, Val, first time on the air here, I'm going to tell you, I was really surprised. This gal didn't know anything. I mean, she didn't know anything about the world, really the state of current politics or whatever. I was really, really surprised. I'll be diplomatic on that. But on that note, the wave is, of course, homeschooling. Congratulations, Val. You're the best. And this whole wave of homeschooling and stuff that came through the COVID desperate times and stuff, those are awful years. But also the voucher program down here in Arizona. I think Arizona is, and there's a couple of other states that are the wave of the future, where it's literally going to be the funds, the budget goes directly to the students, not the school board, not the unions, blah, blah, directly to the students. I think, going off of memory here, I think Arizona budgets $7,300 per child, and that money's every year is guaranteed. It's across the board, so there's no special treatment kind of thing. And most kids have 2-3 choices of what schools to go to, Val. I mean, you know it real well down here, that program. My son, when he was living in Tampa, in Florida, with also assertive programs, some kids had five choices of schools to go to. So I think that's a wave of the future. I think it's the answer for budgets, inflated budgets. I think it's also the answer for how top heavy, sadly, public education has become. Ken, hello with the unions and the power and the Washington, D.C. lobbyists and stuff. So again, that's another 2024 conversation as far as I think education is really going to be reformed. But it starts at the home front. It starts with the moms, the parents that are going to not only support this, get behind it, but help deliver it. Just like Arizona, you're seeing it firsthand here, Val. So I'll turn it back to you a little bit. Definitely don't want a full show on education, but it's so important when you talk the whole home front. And as you say, cleaning one's room starts. It really just starts at getting your ducks in a row on the home front, and then seeing what you can do within the community and, of course, your state and country as well.
And it's not too late to start. That's the thing. If you find yourself in a real discouraging spot and you're like, what's the point? Maybe, relationships are in tatters. Don't be discouraged. You are alive today. And here's a secret. I'll share a secret with you. You don't have much control outside of how far you can punch. So don't give up. Don't give in. Let's just get our ducks in a row together. And that's what some moms that I know, some of my friends, they started out small. We started out small, and we just tackle it by rolling our sleeves up and doing a scrub. And sometimes you have to do a scrub. All right. It's unavoidable. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you are like an at-home manager and you are the facilitator, the CEO of your home, or you're a big top dog. Maybe you're a judge, or I don't know, insert title here. You still have scrub. You still have to do a scrub sometimes, and you still have to keep it together. Money doesn't fix everything. Okay, it doesn't. And I'll take anyone on who wants to go down that path. But it's Greg's birthday, and we're not going to get political. So, do you want to play the game I brought? Pin.
Oh, goodness.
Dead.
You know what's funny? I'm going to actually give a quick announcement here. Believe it or not, this is a first. I'm probably going to do an early wrap here, Val. It's a first. I actually got kind of an important text from back east, and it's something I do need to deal with, but probably in about 5 minutes. But I'm going to do an early wrap if that's okay. That's a first, which is kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like it. But I'll just go ahead. I'll tell you what, thank you. I mean, thank you for just once again the birthday wishes, the opportunity to platform here and stuff. And not only it's just been so much fun, but I can't wait till next Wednesday. Do for sure, Val, and let your network know to watch for this Continue Mission episode that's coming out. Because it's going to be very cool. It's going to be very cool because that was really that was so cool where we literally replatformed that to help out Cap McCormick and his network back there in literally minutes. We know that less than 10 minutes, and so that was so very, very cool. So much going on for 2024. I'm gonna kind of wrap on my end, and then of course take a few minutes, obviously, Val. But I definitely have something to deal with, which is just what we do here. It's how we roll. So again, my name's Greg Meakin. My website's gregmeakin.com. My name, YouTube channels at Greg Meakin. Imagine that, all my same name, huh, Val? No one can sue me on that. It's my name. So my show obviously is Secrets from the Inside, platformed on Val Olson Radio on X, which is at Home Media Mom. I always say, and I always do sign off programs with my mantra. And before I do that, I do really, 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 really want to thank so many people out there. And I mean around the world from multi-countries that honestly have wished me a happy birthday. As cliche as it sounds, whatever. As I said to Madame Bellevaux this morning, I said, you get to be a certain age and you never know what's going to be your last birthday, when it's going to be your last one. It's not macabre. It's just enjoying really and appreciating every day, every month, every year. There are a lot of people that don't have the blessing of having a new birthday. Again, it's not macabre. It is just saying really appreciate life and every day that we have. It is not a cliche. Every day, it's all about today. And my mantra always is, and I'll turn it back to you here, Val, for just a nice sign off. Take as much as you want to, take a few minutes or whatever to sign off on your end. So much to follow up on, and so many teasers in this show. We do have, of course, the big January 22nd radio show. I'm going to be doing a live stream radio show based out of Calgary, Alberta, More on that later, but just be there, be squared, January 22nd. Mark it on your calendar. Live stream radio based out of Calgary, likely Edmonton, and likely, goodness gracious, throughout the United States. Maybe even, Val, maybe even an international station or two. So that's January 22nd. But as I always say, I deeply, deeply thank you, Val, for this show. But I always say, wake up in kindergarten every day. There is so much to learn and so little time because before you know it, you're in first grade. There you go. That's my wrap. Short and sweet, less than 59 minutes. This is a record, Val, but go ahead and really take your time and wrap. And I deeply apologize if I cut it short a little bit today, but definitely have life to deal with here today.
For now, there are only two places you can hear Secrets from the Inside. One is this X platform at home, Media Mom. The second is Greg Meakin's amazing YouTube channel at Greg Meakin. And I'm going to do a quick recap from episode 0011, where Greg put on his assignment editor hat today. We went through some new categories, stories I'm working on and will be working on. Category 1, horsing around. Number 2, Lakeview, Arizona. Number 3, Where's Waldo? And number 4, Secret Files. And we touched on what an important day January 3rd is, Greg's birthday day. So big happy birthday, the happy birthday edition today of the show as Greg Meakin celebrates himself today. And, we just talked about the priority being in the home zone. We want to get it together, right? We want to get it together, get it cleaned up, and we want to get strong and healthy and ready to face whatever challenge is outside our front door. We're also thankful to have front doors on our home because that's not the case at the border. Kind of touched on that today. I did bring party game with me all the way from Alberta. Maybe it's better suited for Alberta, but it's a party game nonetheless. Pin the tail on the dead horse, but we're just gonna, I'll bring it back next year. If we want to play, we'll play it. But other than that, it's just been a great birthday day edition. Secrets from the Inside 0011. I'm your facilitator, Val Olson, and a huge shout out, thank you to my friends that are working the phone lines right now at Patriot Switch. I love, love, love serving up my family healthy, chemical-free stuff, okay? When I clean my house, these are the only products I use to clean with because they smell nice and they're good for you, not full of chemical toxic crap from China. No, made in America products, and you can check out my store. Come for a tour. Jeff is on the phone right now. So if you want to check out my store, there is so much stuff, like 400 plus products. Where to start? My favorites. Okay, just a quick dish soap, the best dish soap ever. It really is. It cuts the grease. Okay, it just cuts the grease like nothing else. I love tropical scent as well. You can check that out in my store. It's on sale right now too. That is patriotswitch.com/Val. Thanks, Patriot Switch. Secrets from the Inside, episode 0011, the birthday edition. Secrets from the Inside is unscripted, uncensored, uncanceled, and undoxed. Thanks for listening.